What's up, everybody? Welcome to RTD Adventures. My name is Brian.
My name is Jacob.
We are here at beautiful Lagoon Park in Farmington, Utah. That's right outside of Salt Lake. And we've been here for a little bit of the day so far, and we're going to be checking things out here and just kind of walking through and show you guys what sort of rides, what sort of food there's to offer here, and let you guys know if this park is really worth coming to visit.
That's right.
Let's head in. All right, so right when you walk into the park, you're gonna see this nice little stretch with, got some lockers and some information that's available here at the front. Not really quite Main Street for those of you that are used to Disneyland, but this is kind of where the park splits right through the middle. And there are a few different sections you can go off of. We'll head over to the hub here. There's some lockers. You can rent those for the day. A lot of the lockers, by the way, in the park are free for the first hour.
Right.
So one of the things that's kind of unique about this park is they don't allow you to take any bags or any loose items onto rides at all. And you've got to put those in lockers. And some of the rides actually have the lockers out in front of them, but they're limited on some of the rides as well. So you may need to do a little bit of looking for some bigger lockers, depending on if you have a bag. I know earlier we had a little bit of trouble fitting your backpack in one of the lockers.
Yeah, that's a strategy. That's something to think about, like what you're bringing into the park and what you're going to be bringing out of the park.
So when you look here in the middle, you look up, they got this nice skyline gondola that goes from one end of the park to the other. There's a fountain right here in the middle that the kids can play in. And then coming over here to the right, this is where you're gonna find the majority of the roller coasters once you head on down this pathway. Got a few snack shops here.
A few dark rides.
Including this place with beaver tails, which look really interesting. We're gonna have to come back and get one of those. And then one of their couple dark rides. This is Terror Ride, kind of like a Halloween themed dark ride here.
Lots of different kinds of fair rides that you'll see. Not fair rides, but some fair rides. Fair activities that you probably see at any typical county fair. Whether you're breaking bottles or breaking plates, ring toss.
Got a carousel here.
That's right.
And if you check out on this side here, you're gonna find the roller coaster. Yes, that's what it's actually called, the roller coaster. This thing is built in 1921. It's one of the oldest coasters in the nation, worldwide probably.
That's right.
Honestly, one of the roughest roller coasters I think I've been on.
That's right. Every single piece of wood still original.
Yes.
I would hope not.
No, it's a fun ride. It's probably the bumpiest roller coaster I've been on.
It's insanely bumpy.
But it's fun.
It is fun, and it's especially knowing what kind of like. What they were expecting. I don't know if it was going that fast in the 1920s, but it's pretty fast.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine what people back then must have thought about that when it was brand new.
Exactly. I know. What do you think, it was a thrill, or do you think they were like absolutely like, I'm never going on
terrified,
that again?
right?
Yeah.
And then coming on over here, you got the Biergarten Restaurant. Right here, you can get some snacks. We got churros.
We should get one of those. Okay, time to do a comparison to Disneyland.
And we got churros here from the Biergarten restaurants. It looks like they're more loaded up with cinnamon sugar than what you get at Disney. I don't know that they're going to be quite as good, but
what the? Oh wow! Quite a bit crunchier.
Very crunchy.
That's really good.
It's got a lot of cinnamon sugar, which is adds to the flavor, but I'm gonna say maybe it's a little bit too crunchy. It's almost like they've been sitting out for a while.
I was just saying it's probably in a warmer or something, but
yeah,
Disneyland beat this one, I think, in my opinion.
Is it okay for a snack here?
It's good. If you want a churro.
I mean, if you're craving a churro, it does the job, but don't hold your breath on the same quality as Disneyland.
On a warm day though, get something cold.
And coming on over here, we got the Biergarten Restaurant. This is I don't know if you call it like a premier restaurant.
Probably like one of the only like sit-down restaurants that I've seen here.
Yeah, no, this is one that really is a good place to go sit down and just kind of take a break.
Yeah.
They got some great food here. I'd recommend this if this is your first time here. They got some good German foods. Yeah. Let's actually cut over real quick and we'll take you a look inside. Woo! That's good stuff.
Can he finish it all though?
We'll see. So what we're looking at here is a German Pilsner that is specific here to Lagoon. So this is, I think it's just called a Lagoon beer. Right?
Lagoon beer.
And they come in these awesome steins. So I got a 22 ounce. I think Jacob got a, what is this, a 16 ounce?
16 ounce. But it comes in the ceramic stein.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what? Our number is getting called, and I'm gonna go grab our food. So chicken schnitzel comes with a potato salad. I unfortunately didn't look too close at what the side was, and I don't like potato salad, so I'm gonna pawn this off here to my nephew Peyton, and he's gonna enjoy that. And I may go back and order some fries because I think that would be a good pairing here, but we're gonna dig in here and see if this is any good. I feel like we might be setting ourselves up for disappointment because we've had some really good German food in the past.
Yeah.
Gotta remember, theme park food is not always the greatest, but sometimes there's a diamond in the rough here.
Yes. Who knows? Perhaps we have a winner on our hands.
We'll see.
And I'm still waiting on my chicken schnitzel, so I'm not eating right now. So I'm gonna watch Brian enjoy it.
Yeah. Take a look here at the gravy. It comes with like a mushroom sauce.
Which I hate mushrooms, but I like sauce.
Actually, can you have them show that?
Yes? Yes.
No, it's good. Really crispy. It tastes great. The sauce goes really well with it. Because again, Jacob was saying he's not a big fan of the mushrooms themselves. I don't care for mushrooms themselves either, but the mushroom sauce I think is a great addition to this plate.
That chicken looks well cooked, like well fried.
Yeah.
Looks really good.
Now let's get another bite. So we got a spicy chicken sandwich here as well. This one's not mine, although I'm gonna take
I want the pickle.
I'm gonna take a fry since I gave Peyton my potato salad. What's on the spicy chicken sandwich here?
Looks like a buffalo sauce.
Have you tried it yet? No? So this is another option that's available here. This one comes with fries. Yeah, Peyton's gonna dig in. He'll let me know what he thinks of that. Jacob's still waiting on his food, but I keep digging into the schnitzel. I put a little bit of lemon on there too, but it's great.
Yeah.
I think what really wins it over for me is the sauce.
Yeah. It looks good. It's like almost like a gravy.
Yeah, no, it's a real thick brown gravy, but no, I think this really adds to it. Regular schnitzel, we've had that at other places. Does that normally come with mushroom sauce?
It's usually a mushroom sauce.
Okay.
And usually almost like a pickled cabbage, like on the side, but they went with the potato, like you said, doesn't like it, that's okay, potato salad, which I'm actually excited to try.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law has it as well, and it looks fantastic, so I'm excited.
And look what Jacob just brought back.
We have the mega pretzel. Comes with looks like a beer cheese and then also like a honey mustard of some kind.
Fantastic.
It's not overly salted. That's what I'm excited for when I eat this, because I'm personally I don't like when there's a ton of salt. Maybe just a little bit of salt, but yeah, very well salted.
Yeah, I love these Bavarian pretzels.
Yeah.
Especially with the beer cheese.
Yes. We'll see how well it. Take the first tear here, and everybody can rip into this too. This is hot. Oh my goodness. Woo. Let's go for it.
What do you think?
Probably one of my favorite beer cheeses I've ever had. It's not too heavy. Like, you know, when people make a beer cheese and it's just like, whoa, it's all beer, no cheese. It's like the perfect blend. I couldn't tell you what beer was in it, but
it's not a super strong cheese either.
Right.
I mean,
and it's pretty like liquidy too. It's not super thick like you'd see a lot of beer cheeses.
Right. Definitely better than the plastic cheese that's normally served with these kind of things.
Although I do enjoy plastic cheese. This is so good. It's not, like I said, when it comes to being heavy, like it doesn't fill you up to where you're like, oh, I don't want to eat anymore. Peyton.
So the plastic cheese is normally what you get with like your Mickey pretzels at Disney. But I gotta say that I'd rather have this like 10 times out of 10.
Absolutely.
Don't get me wrong, plastic cheese is still good.
Yeah.
But the beer cheese is always a win for me.
Yeah. Especially when you're pairing it with beer.
Exactly. Prost.
Prost.
As an aside, the pretzel dipped in the mushroom sauce, very good as well. Highly recommend that.
Yeah. And the potato salad is fantastic too. You can tell they like make it here. It's not something that they just kind of like grab from the convenience store. There's quite a bit of dill in it, so it kind of just reminds me of like a bunch of dill pickles inside of potato salad, which I love because I love dill pickles. So yeah, that's also a win. Very good, very good.
So the schnitzel was $17. You know, I think it's the most expensive thing here, probably in the theme park.
Yeah.
But it's a great meal overall if you're not trying to do something just like cheap. Pretzel. Yeah. How much is the pretzel?
Pretzel, it was about $12.
$12 for the pretzel. Worth it?
What?
Worth it?
It was.
Worth the pretzel?
It was worth the $12. It's huge. We're not even done with it.
Yeah.
And I shared it with 4 people.
Beer's a little bit expensive, but honestly, I'm gonna tell you, I bought it solely just to get this glass here because this is an awesome souvenir.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. How much are the beers? It's like 28 or 29 bucks.
Yes,
That's
because
a lot
it came
of money.
with it.
Ordinarily, I wouldn't buy that, spend that much money on alcohol.
No.
It's way overpriced, but the glass is worth it. Just, obviously, cool looking glass. I can keep using this into the future. Yeah, we get to keep the steins.
You should go back and just say, can I get
You can actually buy one without the beer.
It says without beer.
If you guys get one of these steins, you don't really have to worry about carrying around a dirty glass all day. They said that if you bring it back into them after you're finished with it, they will wash it out.
Yeah,
and cool. Then the parking lot's actually really close too, so we're going to run these out to the car. That way we don't have to bother carrying it the rest of the day.
Yep.
All right, Jacob, final thoughts on the restaurant?
Fantastic. Definitely one of the best things we've eaten here. Not that we've eaten a lot here, but being one of maybe only restaurant. For being German food, it was very good. It was very good. The chicken was insanely crunchy. It wasn't like soft and falling apart like some places do that whenever I have fried chicken. The potato salad was amazing, and I'm pretty picky with potato salad, and I really enjoyed that. What am I missing? Beer was good.
Beer was good. Pretzel was good. Schnitzel was good.
Yep.
Yeah,
it was good.
Overall, I'd say that it's a little bit more of an expensive meal.
Yeah.
For a lot of the other stuff you have here. Maybe if you're here for on the regular, you probably wouldn't get this very often.
Yeah.
But if you're just making like a one-time trip to Lagoon, I definitely recommend this one.
I'd give it a B.
Give it a B. Yeah. Could be better. Maybe some of the sides, I think, is the biggest my complaint. I would like to see a little bit more some like German.
That's what I was gonna say too.
But
more German sides, like and a little less sandwichy, like in my opinion, because there was like 3 like looking authentic sides, authentic entrees, but the rest of the stuff was like French fries, onion rings. I kind of missed personally, I liked the sour cabbage or sauerkraut at the last German restaurant we were at. But overall, it was great. The pretzel was like fall apart and hot. It was amazing.
Yeah, you were saying you liked it better than the Epcot
I think I
pretzels?
prefer it better than Epcot's pretzel. I know that's like considered a super authentic German pretzel, but it kind of tasted more like a cracker because you bit into it, just fell apart in your mouth. This one just kind of like you could tear apart, share with everybody without making a mess. And that cheese was fantastic.
Yeah, so I think this is a big recommend for both of us. If you're going to make it out here to Lagoon, I'd say that this should be a stop for lunch or dinner for you.
Yep, put it on your list.
All right, and then leaving the Biergarten Restaurant, you got some Carnival looking rides over here. Got some food stands, teriyaki, right?
Yeah,
a lot of just typical fair foods. It's definitely a little bit more carnival-y than some other parks I've been to.
Right.
And then right over here, you're gonna find the, what do you call this?
Mouse. Yeah, there's a sign up here.
Crazy Mouse?
I think it is Crazy Mouse.
Yeah. So if you guys are familiar with Goofy's Sky School,
it's essentially the same exact ride.
Same thing, but it's faster.
It is.
Yeah.
It may be a little more smoother. I don't know.
You think so?
I thought it was smooth.
It's a fun ride nonetheless. And the line for this one is really, really short here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wild Mouse.
I thought I was going to come out of my seat.
Wild Mouse is what this is called.
Wild Mouse.
Yeah.
Like Mickey Mouse.
You got Wild Mouse here, and then right past that is the Spider. So this is a coaster that actually spins you around. All right, we're over here on the far end of the park. So if you're looking at a map, it's like the bottom right corner. And this side is where you're gonna find a bunch of the roller coasters, but then there's a lot of also like fair-looking rides.
Right, especially like that one.
See that one behind us here? Yeah. But this right here is one of the premier rides here at Lagoon. This is Colossus, the Fire Dragon. You guys can see the coaster going up here. This is a little bit of an older steel coaster. I think this was built in the 70s.
Looks like it.
This one's got like a double loop, and this one doesn't look like it's all that intense, but I'll tell you what, this is maybe the most intense ride here.
Yeah.
Maybe other than Cannibal.
Yeah, say one of 2 maybe.
Yeah, but it definitely whips you around a lot more than you think it does.
Yeah. Yeah, something his nephew was saying a little bit earlier too is that like you could feel on these turns, you could almost just like touch the ground, and they definitely promote you to do not raise your hand on this ride.
Yeah, that's one of the big differences between this and the Disney parks is in Disneyland, they have, I think they call it like an envelope of protection. So you can stick your arms out as far as you want and you're not gonna ever hit anything. Not the case here. If your arms are up, you're gonna get them smacked by a couple bars that are hanging down kind of low.
Yeah,
so
your hand will come off.
Yeah, you really gotta be careful not to stick your arms up on some of these rides. And then there's Wicked. This ride, look at that first little bit here. It launches you straight up. and then you're gonna go straight down. The first portion of the ride is pretty intense. That was a really fun ride, but I think that it kind of gets bogged down by the second half of it. But I definitely recommend going on at least once if you like roller coasters. Seems a little bit intimidating if you're not used to the big coasters, but this was a lot of fun. It's actually pretty smooth too.
I would tell you, just someone that is, I'm not the hugest big fan of roller coasters, but this one, if you like Incredicoaster, you'll love this one just because how it takes off right away really quickly. This one does the same thing, and it kind of gives that anticipation fear a rest because you don't have that click, 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 click. It's just boom, you're off.
Yeah, and it's not even like a runway like Incredicoaster is.
Yeah.
It just starts you and you go straight up that first chute.
Yep.
All right, so if you're walking straight away from the Fire Dragon and going, looking at the map, kind of facing up, that's where you're gonna get to the back side of the park here, and this is kind of leading into Pioneer Square. So this is like an old-timey west portion of the park, and we're gonna get there here in just a second. But you'll see right here is actually the entrance to the gondolas. We get to ride those across the park a little bit earlier. Looks like they're paused for the moment. You got to come back around just a little bit further here, but you're going to find a lot of the fair type rides in this section here. There's a little, I don't even know what you call that.
Spinning Wheel of Death.
Spinning Ferris Wheel of Death. Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
The Barfomatic.
Fair rides are not really for me, so that's a skip for me every time.
Every time.
Yeah. We got a little putt-putt golf.
The thing is,
Punch
separately,
game.
these games and such, you do have to pay for, which is kind of a bummer, actually.
Yeah. There's a lot of additional little things that do cost money. There's a train that goes around the outside. That costs extra money. There is a little go-kart section. That costs extra money. What else? The Carnival Games cost money.
If you want to do that like slingshot that shoots you up into the air, or that Superman thing where you get slung, it's like $45 to do that.
I think it was 15 a person.
Yeah.
But still.
Still.
Yeah. Theme park tickets are not really cheap for this park, so the fact that they're charging all these little extras, I mean, I guess it's not too surprising. Disney likes to nickel and dime you for everything too, but
right.
You think when you get into the park, all the extra attractions should be included with that, but
you would think, especially the games. But yeah,
here's the old-timey train. Fun little fact: that train actually was at a theme park, short-lived theme park called Pixieland in Oregon, and that park didn't last for very long.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Something to do with environmentalists that were like fighting for the land back, and so they had to tear the park down. But
they sold it to
Lagoon, and there was a log flume ride from Pixieland that was brought over here too, but that's been decommissioned. So
since then, yeah,
I was kind of looking. That was just decommissioned over the
recently.
Yeah, recently. I think it was open last year.
It was.
So here we are at Pioneer Village now, or at least heading in that way. If you look at the map, that is going to be towards the back right side of the map here. You can see this nice little lagoon.
Lagoon.
Is that what this park's named after?
I guess.
I mean, I'm just throwing guesses here. That's the first time I've noticed the lagoon and made the connection with the name of the park.
Yeah, I thought it was just another little water feature that they had, but that would make a lot more sense.
And then something else that the park offers, which we didn't actually pay for here, but they have a little water park. Just opened today, I believe, for the first time for the season. We're here
like it,
Memorial Weekend.
Yeah.
But this is something you can pay extra to get in there. They got some water slides and what do you call it? Like a floating river, lazy river. Yeah, a couple little kiddie pools. So nice little area to cool off. Not quite hot enough today.
Yeah, at least coming from an Oregonian. I don't know if this is like a hot summer day for them or not.
No, it's not really that hot. It's like upper 60s. It might be like low 70s at the most.
Yeah,
but
decent breeze in certain areas.
It feels warm just because we're used to the cool weather at this point.
Yeah.
But not overly warm compared to a typical summer.
Right.
At least not warm enough for me to go in and get in the water.
No.
All right, so walking into Pioneer Village, if you turn right, got some lovely little peacocks here. There's actually a bunch of peacocks that have been running around the park here.
Yeah, nothing that you'd want to touch.
There's a brand new coffee shop here. It smells delicious.
Seriously.
They got some good treats in there as well. May have to stop by there and grab a cold brew here in just a minute. There's an Arby's over here, which I think is like the strangest place to put one.
But okay.
Yeah. And a couple of the places here are built like old-timey looking shops. Come on over here and take a look at one of them.
From the Pioneer days.
Got a bunch of vintage clocks in here.
It's weird because I think my grandpa had a clock like that.
Yeah, this looks like things that my grandparents have had as well.
Pretty awesome.
Got some clock parts
Man,
down
that's
here.
intense. Yeah, someone had to tear that thing apart.
And as far as I can tell, this is all old, all authentic stuff. It's not, what am I thinking of? Replicas.
Right. It seems like this is like more museum than it is replicas.
Here's a post office.
I think I saw Adam the Woo in here once. Yeah, the post office has a safe.
Dark in here, the lights are out. I don't know if you guys can see that in here, but there's like a work desk and got some boxes where people can put their mail in, I guess.
Yeah.
Not sure how those old post offices work.
It's like a little indestructible safe.
Oh yeah, those are like lock boxes, aren't they?
Be hard to steal
cool
this.
here.
Back in
Look at
the
that.
olden days, if you're a bandit.
Gotta grab your stick of dynamite and try to blow that thing open.
That's what I'm talking about. I forgot my stick of dynamite at home.
Okay, coming down this way a little bit further. This is where you start getting into a couple more of the shops. There is an ice cream shop right over here. And Grandma Christie's funnel cakes, which
Tacos.
really throws me off here. Jacob has never had a funnel cake in his
I've
life.
never had a funnel cake.
Which makes me want to get one, although I'm kind of full right now.
Yeah, maybe later.
Jacob needs to have a funnel cake. Let him know in the comments
Yeah,
what
why do
he's
I
been
need
missing
to?
out on.
Yeah, what am I missing out on? Why do I need to try a funnel cake? It always looked like a brain to me, with like ice cream or something. Is it ice cream? Whipped cream? What's on top of that?
Whipped cream.
Okay.
Cool whip.
And is there a flavor of funnel cake that I need to have? Is there a certain kind of? Is there strawberries on it, or is it just ice cream on top of funnel cake?
It's not ice cream, it's fruit.
Oh,
Come on, Jacob, get with it.
it's like almost like I've never had it.
All right, we're coming down here to the end of, I keep wanting to say Frontierland.
I know.
Pioneer Village. Got this clock over here with a bunch of, I don't
Wild
know.
animals.
The grass flowers do not look like they're kept up very well. There's a couple peacocks
It's the end of the village.
And
Nobody really
dirt.
wants to keep track of that.
and a circus. All right, trying to walk behind some of the buildings here. Nice little quiet path. Look at that mud puddle, it's so authentic.
Step in it. It'll feel authentic.
Looks like we got some stagecoaches over here.
Man, it's like going into a car dealership. They
Check this out. I want to look
You
at
want to
it.
buy a stagecoach? Seriously though,
It's like a museum in here.
smells like one.
It's old.
Seriously, can you imagine someone just like a shop for these things? Hey, can I interest you in a stagecoach? Now this was last year's model, but this, my friend.
Here's a stagecoach,
Trail.
Oregon Trail style. May have to hook one of these up to some oxen and take it home.
Yeah, I would not like that trip.
That would be awful. It was a long enough drive just to get here in a car.
Yeah, we complained about the. Is that a hearse?
Do you think they're still renting these out?
Yeah, it kind of looks like it, doesn't it?
So they parade the.
Got something like that kind
Probably
of,
the wealthy around, I'm assuming, because nobody can afford something like that.
something like that kind
And then
of
of
that in
course
front of
Wells
the
Fargo.
Haunted Mansion. There you go. Wells Fargo stagecoach.
That's right. We saw one of those coming. You knew there was money on it.
And here's one of the things I really like about this park. I'm going to show you some more here in just a minute. This is one of like 50 different picnic areas that the park has. There's just the areas where you can go out and sit in the grass underneath the shade and have a snack,
Yep.
cool off.
Bring a
cooler.
Cooler. Yep.
And if you come all the way into the back here, this is where you're gonna find Rattlesnake Rapids, which is kind of tucked away in the middle of nowhere. There's really only one pathway to get here. And if you didn't know to look for it, you would probably just miss it completely. Because this is really tucked away. Not a lot of people, I think, come to the Pioneer Village portion of town. Look at that, comes right up against the lagoon out here. Got some nice shady spots over there to sit.
Yeah.
Enjoy the
Pretty
shade.
relaxing back here, actually.
Yeah, this is a really nice little area, and it's really hidden away. I mean, if you're looking for it, it's not that hard to find.
Nah.
But if you didn't know it was here, I'd completely understand if you just missed it altogether.
You just look for the people that are really soaked.
Right. Yes, there's no way to not get wet on this ride.
Yeah.
I mean, you go under a waterfall.
yeah.
It's not like one of those Disney rides where you may get wet. You're definitely going to get wet on this
And I
one.
think it's the tail end, because it seems like people are like quite a bit wet, or maybe not, but it seems like as soon as they hit the bend around the corner, their expressions, they see that waterfall and they're like, and they try to get to one side of the boat, but the thing is, it covers the whole, like the whole ride.
Yeah, there's
so
no
you will
escape.
get soaked.
All right, so we stopped up for cold drinks anyways. Got the cold brew, which actually is kind of more like a creamer with a little bit of cold brew in it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to complain too much because it's iced and it's kind of warm here standing out in the sun. So
Yeah. I got a black iced tea.
And again, it's not really that warm today. I'm just not used to the not used to the summer weather yet. And need to get myself used to the heat because we're headed to Disneyland in August, and that's going to be
A little warm.
ridiculous. But
There's a bear in there.
that's there and there. Oh, what?
A real one.
Bear? Buffalo? Old
It's a
timey.
bear.
There's a peacock. Right behind you.
Oh.
Hello, Mr. Peacock. Town Hall.
Ooh, there's a jail.
Looks like something important happened there. Those cups do not look period accurate. There's more of them up there. I don't know. Maybe they are.
I don't know.
Crazy if they were. Oh, it was like a fire station. Look at that.
Well, look behind you though, and there's like a prison.
Could you imagine if you had to fight fires with that thing?
That would be hard.
That looks difficult. And then, yeah, look, jails. Jail cells from Kimberly, Utah.
There's some guns in here.
Some of the tools for Town Hall.
That's right.
Sheriff would sit there and type up his reports on the people in jail, and they would sit back there and
Right.
probably complain the whole time.
Exactly.
It's another one of the many picnic spots that's available to rent out. All these terraces can be privately rented.
More pavilions.
Like I was saying just a minute ago, look at all this extra land to just relax, have a picnic, just do nothing. That's something that's sorely missing from Disneyland, is just an area to sit down and do nothing.
Right.
Because it's hard to get out of the heat in Disney.
Or
But-
find a place where nobody's sitting.
Right. There's a lot of open space here.
Yeah.
I mean, given I know this park's not going to be nearly as busy as like the major theme parks, but it really, for Memorial Weekend, it's
Seriously.
not as crowded as I was expecting it to
Very
be.
tame. I like this.
And it's really quiet back in these some of these further areas too. So it's not hard to get away from the crowds,
Yeah.
not hard to get away from the heat. So I don't know. I think more theme parks could take a page out of Lagoon's book on this one.
For sure.
And here's another roller coaster. Here, this one is the Bat, where your feet dangle, which sounds like it's an intense coaster, but it's really not all that bad. It's pretty
Yeah.
tame as far as those coasters go. But we're coming back down here through the center of the park. So if you look at the map, it's like right down the middle. So we did the full loop around the right side, coming back down here. We're gonna go over now toward the left, again, if you're looking at that map. And this is where you find a couple more of the bigger rides.
More popular too.
A couple of
Few
my
them.
favorites that I've ever been on at any park, actually. A couple really cool ones. We're gonna take you over that way and see what they have. Here's Jetstar 2, another coaster that's not too crazy. This one is a little bit different because you're sitting tandem with somebody, so you cannot solo ride this one. And you can see off there, there's a couple slingshot rides.
No thanks.
That is a hard pass for me.
Hard pass for me too.
And here's the other end of the park where the gondolas go. Nice relaxing ride there with the gondolas.
Yeah, to a point.
Not something I would suggest you do if you're afraid of heights.
Yeah, especially if you don't like to stop
I'm
and you're that high up.
I'm not the biggest fan of heights. It was a little bit touch and go for me here in the middle, but you get a pretty cool view of the park.
Yeah, that
So
part was cool.
it's, yeah, and I don't know, would you say it's like a 5-minute ride?
Yeah, it's not long at all, unless you have to stop and let other people on.
Right, yeah. But it's a fun little attraction. Kind of makes me wish they still had those at Disneyland.
Yeah, for sure.
I would have liked to kind of experience that riding through Matterhorn.
I also love the choice of music here. A lot of 80s and 90s.
Yeah, there is. Here's another slingshot ride, but if you take a look over this way, you get a nice view of a Ferris wheel. And these Ferris wheels actually have spinning gondolas in them, so there's a handle in the middle you can use to spin.
So
and
if
then
you like,
there's,
what is it called? If you like teacups and Ferris wheels, you'll love that.
all right. And then there's that monster in the background, the Cannibal. Let's take you around the other side and get a better look at that. Quick aside here, if you're heading over this way, there is a go-kart area. We talked a little bit about that earlier, I believe. But this one is like $5 or $6 for a driver, and you can race with your friends along this little course here. So we're over here by the go-kart entrance.
Yeah.
And this is actually where you get the best view of Cannibal, let me just tip that up here. You get a nice view of that drop. They kind of built this backwards. I think that they should have turned it so that you could see that drop from inside the park, but it's like you get the best view from the parking lot, oddly enough. But now this ride,
Terrifying, but it's awesome.
One of the steepest drops in the worst. I can't remember exactly, like 6 or 7 steepest in the world. And you can hear that going off in the background. That first drop is kind of crazy. First they push you up in an elevator, and the elevator is not stable, or at least it's made to not feel stable. So you're kind of shaking back and forth as you're going up.
But it's not made to feel like it.
Right, it feels like it's coming loose by design, which is kind of freaky if you don't expect it. And then when they bring you to the top, they just kind of look out on the horizon. You get a really nice view from the top.
Very
kind of
nice.
like if you've been on Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, you get that view before they drop you right at the end. You just get that view, but then you go out of the building.
Yep.
And you go straight down.
Not straight down.
More than
inverted.
Straight down. Yeah. I think it's like 116 degrees inversion. It's crazy.
It's nuts.
And it's a pretty intense ride. It's smooth too, though. It's not jerky or rough ride at all. It's a really smooth ride. There's a couple really intense parts. There's one where you're actually hanging upside down, and they slowly slow you down. There's no chest strap, by the way. That's only a lap bar holding you in, which is kind of creepy.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a lot of fun. I mean, you're in there secure, but it's a different feeling. The first time I went on that, when you go to the upside down part, I was trying to keep my arms up, and you feel like you're gonna fall straight out of the ride. It's crazy.
You kind of have to lock your legs in because it feels like that's what's gonna keep you in that ride.
Yeah. Now this is a really fun ride. If you like roller coasters, this is definitely something that you should go out of your way to come visit Lagoon for, because it's really almost unlike anything else I've ever seen.
It's very
before.
unique.
All right, we're coming back around the corner here from Cannibal, and if you look right over here, you can see Primordial in the background. There's another ride here, Samurai. It looks like it's actually down right now. I think this is another one of those carnival type rides, which I'd be skipping anyways.
Yeah.
And then this is the back left corner. Again, if you're looking at the map, back left of the map here, this is Primordial, the newest ride here at Lagoon. I think it won Roller Coaster of the Year last year, so it was brand new in September 2023. And this one's really got some cool technology in it. So it's kind of a combination of a roller coaster.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe just a little bit more intense than Thunder Mountain.
Right,
But
it starts
then,
that way.
Yeah, it starts that way. And then there's a couple sections of roller coaster inside, but then there's a big portion in the center that's like a shooter.
Yeah.
So kind of like Buzz Lightyear, but you're shooting a screen.
And in 3D, so you get 3D glasses,
Yeah.
so that's kind of cool.
So it's a really, really unique ride. And there's an animatronic at the beginning of it too. So I'd say out of things with theming, there's nothing at the park that's better than this one.
Yeah.
It kind of stands out from the rest of the rides here. All right, so we hit Primordial, and it's a bit of a whirlwind because the park is getting ready to close down, or was when we did that. So we had to hurry and finish up with a couple more rides. So we did Primordial, and then these guys here, they were wanting to go back to Biergarten, so they went.
And we did.
You guys get some dinner?
Yeah. So I got basically a club sandwich, and then my brother-in-law got this like chicken buffalo sandwich, kind of like his nephew did actually, and he said it was ridiculously spicy. Your nephew underplayed it,
okay,
because he was sitting there dying. He didn't even finish it, but he said it was delicious. So yeah, definitely a winner there. Definitely one of the best places to eat here, in my opinion.
Yeah. So while you guys were doing that, we went over to Colossus and did it 3 times, and it was a walk-on every single time.
Yeah.
And then we did Wild Mouse, and then we ran across the park to Cannibal again. And I finally got to sit front row. I've been wanting to do that the whole trip.
That'd be cool.
So it was actually broken down when we got there. And so we get over there, and they say it might be like 10 more minutes. And so we decided to stay in line, and it opened back up, and we got it was like 2-minute wait to get back on there. And so we got to sit front row, and then we went right back around and got in line again, and it was like 15-20 minute wait. So it was great. So awesome weekend.
Very cool.
I'm really happy we went here. So real quick, we're just gonna run down a couple categories here.
Yes.
And again, we're gonna kind of rate these off of based on what we're used to with Disney parks. So that's gonna be kind of like our guideline. I know not always fair to compare theme parks to Disney, but that's what we're familiar with. So that's the standard we're using here. So first thing here, rides. Jacob, how would you rate the overall ride experience?
Overall ride was definitely like 9 out of 10. I know that's pretty high, especially those that have been to like probably Magic Mountain and just different parks like that. But I feel like it had a personal touch because they had rides from the 1920s, And then they have like new innovation rides like Primordial, where like the combination between that was cool, like Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters and roller coaster, which is I did not think would go together when I heard about that.
Yeah.
But it works great.
It's awesome. Yeah. There's really good family rides. There's awesome thrill rides. Great selection all across the board. So I'd say that it's probably like a 9 out of 10 for me as well. Awesome rides. The next category, theming.
I get like 5 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
There's not too much theme. The theme is mostly fair, and then there's the German restaurant, and they're just there, and then you kind of have like the lagoon area for Lagoon-A-Beach, and you have like the Pioneer Town. I don't mind those like separate, that's fine, but like maybe stick with it. We were actually talking about that, like maybe add more theming, whether that's more restaurants, like where it's like maybe near Primordial, like a restaurant for them.
Yeah.
But
There's
that part was kind of weak.
There's some spatterings of theming here and there, but nothing really consistent. So I'd probably agree with you there. 5, maybe even 4 for me.
Yeah.
I mean,
theming was kind of weak.
Yeah. Next category here, food. Food
was great at Biergarten.
Yeah. I'd say Biergarten was a highlight.
Yeah.
And a couple snacks here and there were decent, but nothing that really stands out. So food, honestly,
food
5.
Yeah.
I mean,
when you're talking about like
overall, well, might get like a 6. Nothing was really bad, but nothing really stood out either.
Right.
Aside from Biergarten.
Like snacks and stuff is kind of like, I don't know, it was just kind of like the fair, which that fair food is good sometimes. But it's definitely cleaner than a fair, that's for sure.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. Okay. Entertainment.
There was a show that we didn't get to watch, but I would maybe 3 or 4 out of 10.
Probably a 3. Yeah, I'd say. I mean, the show was just like a little magic show, but there's really not any other entertainment that we could see. So I mean, this really isn't that kind of a park, but
safari, which was cool.
Don't come to the park expecting any sort of like shows or anything like that.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Crowd level.
Decent. Wait, so like 10 being like perfect? Perfect size. Oh yeah, I'd probably like 7 out of 10. There was still a crowd, but it wasn't anything close to anything you're used to for like Disneyland.
And it's
like
Memorial Weekend too.
I know, For Memorial Day weekend, there's seriously not like much going on here when it comes to crowds. Like you won't go shoulder to shoulder or anything like that.
There was a couple of rides that had pretty long lines, but for the most part, everything was really short. I'd say average like 20 minutes was the wait time.
It was like nothing.
So it was great.
Even, that's a busy ride. Like it's like 20 minutes, like maybe 30.
And that actually kind of goes into the next one is the lines were really good. I should preface that. The lines themselves, like the wait times, the queues were not great because everything kind of spills out into the walkways. But the wait time was not bad at all. So I'd say a 1 for like how good the queues themselves are, but I'd give it like a 7 or 8 for wait time. So that was great.
I would agree with that too.
All right. Cleanliness. It was a clean park.
Decent. Like 7 out of 10. There's still people that do what people do, where they like spill stuff and just kind of leave it or throw stuff on the ground. But I mean, otherwise, like they did a good job like rapidly cleaning up. But it's not like Disney, of course, where it's like instant clean. Like someone out of nowhere comes and picks up trash and you weren't even aware of it. But
compared to some other parks I've been to, it's pretty nice. So, I give it like an 8. 8. It was good. Okay. Customer service.
I guess, I don't know, 5. Like I didn't really have any interaction with that many people. There's a lot of teenagers.
I give it like a 7. I mean, nobody did anything bad, but it didn't seem like people were going out of their way either. But.
Yeah, no, and I feel like a lot of the, like if you're going to do those rides or whatever, not rides, but like the games or whatever, the customer service, they're coming from teenagers, so I wouldn't expect like the greatest. But
seems like there's a lot of high schoolers working here.
Yeah.
And they do a good enough job, but nothing outstanding.
Right.
Let's see, price. So
a little overpriced.
I'd say for what it is, it's probably a little bit overpriced compared to some other places we've been to.
Right.
It's like a single day ticket's like $100.
Yeah.
We got in on an early. We were here for 2 days.
2 days.
And we got in on a pre-season sale to buy season passport. So we ended up paying like $200 for a season passport. So we ended up just balancing out. I just kind of wanted to have a season pass.
Yeah.
But overall, maybe just a little bit pricey compared to other places, especially when you consider how much Disneyland is, right? They're like the most expensive one out there, and some of their cheaper tickets are not too much over $100. So,
like in comparison.
But overall, would you say it was a good experience?
It was awesome.
Yeah, I'd come back here more often if it was a little bit closer.
And we have more money for travel.
Right.
There's a Patreon for that.
A little bit out of the way, but I'd say that well worth your time if you're in the area, or even if you just want to make a weekend trip of it. It's a great park to go to. So
overall, what would you say experience-wise?
Good experience. I'd say 8 out of 10.
I think so too. 8 out of 10.
real positive experience.
Yeah.
So anyways, if you guys have ever been to Lagoon, I kind of want to hear your experiences, because we
yes.
definitely didn't get to do anywhere near everything we wanted to. There was a lot to do here, and we weren't here for enough time.
Seriously.
Kind of we had that rainstorm yesterday, so our time was limited with it.
Very. Just let us know.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. And again, all of the regular YouTube stuff, like, share, and subscribe. And then always, thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching.